for covering the state of California and the social distance guidelines issued by federal, state, and local authorities. The city is implementing changes to participate in Planning Commission meetings until notified otherwise. The council chambers will be open to the public, but we will be implementing social distancing policies and will limit the number of people who may be in the council chambers. All attendees are required to wear masks to enter the council chambers. The meeting will be webcast and accessed at the city's website. Members of the public are encouraged to participate in the meetings by accessing the website, providing written comment at the website, participating by phone, or coming to the Planning Commission meeting in person. But again, we are practicing social distancing and can only accommodate a maximum of 16 guests at one time. I'd like to stand for the flag salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic
for which we stand,
for it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible.
Okay. Can we have roll call?
Okay, that was fun. Commissioner Antuna?
Here.
Commissioner Bedstead?
Here.
Commissioner Cunningham?
Here.
Commissioner Hinkle?
Here.
Chair Hatcher?
Here. And can we have approval of the minutes from last month?
I'd like to make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
And I missed that first one. Was that Commissioner Bedstead?
Yes, motion to approve.
Commissioner Bedstead made a motion to approve the minutes of October 22nd. Commissioner Bedstead?
Yes.
Commissioner Cunningham?
Yes.
Commissioner Antuna?
Yes.
Commissioner Hinkle?
Yes.
Chair Hatcher?
Yes. Commission Secretary, any comments?
No new comments.
Okay. Do we have any comments from a Planning Commission member?
I do.
Okay.
I had a gentleman, he's a contractor. He's been in business a long time. He's an older gentleman. And he was asking if there any way for the planning department to make it easier to get permits online than what you have. Not being a computer expert, it was very confusing. If it had a little more directions on what to do, some of the shortcuts, if you're a licensed contractor and things like that, he had to call in and get help. And he had to do it twice to get through it. So is there some way we might want to look at that and make it friendly for those that don't understand computers?
Of course, Commissioner Hinkle. Our building division is constantly monitoring how they review the process. They're constantly working at new software data to see if they can improve on that. So that is something we will definitely bring up to them. I know they're in the process of working on something now, so we will bring that up to their attention.
And then also possibly using digital signature type of thing. And there was, if you put in, I don't know what the code is, if you put in a certain code or whatever, it automatically accepts you as a contractor or something like this on one of the pages. But anyway, if those were maybe put into a little paragraph of things to do on this page or how to navigate this page or something like that.
Certainly, we would definitely look into that.
Okay. Yeah, thank you. I told him I would bring it up, and I did. Thank you.
Any other comments from commission members? Okay. Seeing none, any business from the floor? This is an opportunity for members of the public to address the Planning Commission on any item that is not on tonight's agenda. Seeing none, consent calendar? Seeing none. We'll go to public hearings. Consider approval OA 2020-002, a request to amend the Clovis Development Code as a semi-annual cleanup to address changes, deletions, typographical, grammatical, and content errors as a result of the 2014 Development Code update. City of Clovis applicant.
Thank you, Chair, members of the Commission. Good evening. I'm going to try to speak with my mask on. If any of you need me to take it off, just let me know. That includes Commissioner Antuna online. Thank you again. Staff is bringing the next Development Code update to the Commission this evening for your consideration. But just before I get into what we're asking for tonight, she's wanted to provide you with a brief description as to the previous years and amendments to the code. Back in 2014, when we updated the Development Code, it was a new format, and it substantially changed the code as we came to see it. And we knew right away that we had to come back periodically to the commission and council with updates. The first one began in February of 2015, and the main topic there were multiple modifications, but here I just want to give you just a brief overview. Was the main change was to the group housing section and some various corrections. We came back again for a second time in 2017 with modifications to the services and residential sections of the code, including additional text modifications. We came back a third time back in 2018, where we proposed a new chapter titled Reasonable Accommodations for Equal Access to Housing under Federal and State Law. These were for individuals with disabilities. And finally, we came back a fourth time last year to provide changes primarily to the cottage home program, where it expanded this benefit to other areas of town. And also we made modifications to the state mandated density bonus requirements. So this brings us to today. Now the staff report does provide the commission a detailed summary of the modifications for this code update. Here I have 5, just primary, the big items that I just wanted to go over. But again, after my presentation, I will be more than happy to answer any questions the commission may have. The first one was we added language regarding neighborhood meeting noticing requirements. And that came after a few projects. Some of them were, controversial in nature. People did want more input, and we had instances where some of the neighbors who received the notice were upset with the way the developer, presented that notice. It really didn't look like an official notice for a project. So we kind of outlined a clear path for future noticing for developers and projects in general that require neighborhood outreach. The second item was we added a footnote to the CP, Professional Office, Zone District, C2, Community, Commercial, and also the C3, which is the Old Town zoning district, to modify the hotel heights allowed. Now, I know this came primarily from Commissioner Cunningham, where there was concerns about just how many requests were coming before the commission, particularly with the height request. So what we did, staff did an analysis of the approved hotels in the past few years, and we came to realize that the average height being requested was 4 stories and about 50 to 55 feet in height. So the text modification here now allows folks by right in those 3 zone districts to go up to 55 feet, which is equivalent, to 4 stories. So the commission will still see conditional use permits for hotels, just because the code requires that use to have a conditional use permit, but it won't necessarily come with the request of additional height. But again, I just want to make the point that this doesn't stop folks from coming and asking potentially for higher than 55 if need be. And if in that case, then the commission will need to act on that. A third item here was primarily cell towers and publicly owned and operated communication towers permitted with an administrative use permit in the open space zone district. So this was an allowed use in the old code before the 2014, and it was just accidentally left out. And so we want to bring it back into the code. It also serves good that with this, it kind of helps the city keep, in a way, cell towers, not necessarily in the middle neighborhoods, but more in open space areas where we can integrate any community parks with the towers, to work cohesively together. Another revision was we revised text to the small and large family daycares and how they're regulated to comply with state law. And this was based on a recent law that was approved earlier this year. And finally, we are proposing a new chapter to address timely public comments. I know that has been a concern in the past with some projects where, right at the last minute, the commission will get a big, document and expect it to review it. So we hope that this will curtail that. And that's my brief presentation. Staff recommends that the commission this evening approve ordinance amendment 2020-002, subject to the modifications labeled attachments 2 and 3. And again, I'm happy to answer any questions you may have.
Any questions for staff?
Yes, I have a question. George, has staff considered having a template for the notices rather than having each developer provide their own individual notification to neighborhoods? Has the city considered having a standard template that can be provided to the developer and then the developer distribute it to the neighborhoods? That way it ensures that all the necessary information is present.
No, thank you, Commissioner Antuna. That's a very good point. And we didn't think about that in terms of having a standard template where we can give to every single developer, every property owner who is required to hold neighborhood meetings. So there's a consistency across the board. So that's a good point, and it's the commission is welcome to make the modification to the code tonight if you choose to.
Just
Okay.
to add to that response, the new code language identifies or points to guidelines, noticing guidelines, and the incorporation of a template into the guidelines is absolutely makes sense and is something that we'll do.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Okay, seeing none, I'll open it up for anyone here to speak in favor of this item.
No one online.
Seeing none, anyone here to speak in opposition?
No one online.
Okay. Seeing that, I will close the public portion and bring it back to the commission for any final comments, questions.
I would just like to commend staff for the addition of the second and the fifth item. The height requirements now are much more forthright, easy to understand, but yet gives the city some leeway to allow taller buildings, which I don't think was codified before. And it left me in a very uncomfortable position in the past to have to vote against an item because I was locked into what the city ordinance had said. So my kudos to you, George, and anyone else who was involved in that. Also, city attorneys will know that I have cornered them several times at city council meetings about the timeliness of submissions of data for the Planning Commission to review. Many a times we come to a meeting on a controversial subject and we'll have a stack of stuff to review, and there's no way to actually review it. So now, at least now we have codified a way to deal with that late stuff, and hopefully staff will be in a position to advise people that find it necessary to wait until the very last minute to submit comments. Comments or requests for things to do on the item. I'm appreciative of both. I'm appreciative of everything that was updated, but particularly those two items. Thank you.
Any other comments, questions? Motion?
I can make the motion. I guess before I do, I will say that I like the recommendation from Commissioner Altoona to bring a template base for consistency. So I'll make my motion with that. So, gotta make sure I can read this right. Make a motion to approve OA 2020 TAC 002, request to amend the Clovis Development Code as a semi-annual cleanup to address changes, deletions, typographical, grammatical, and content errors as a result of the 2014 Development Code update, with the modification that a template base be included for the developers for notifications to affected personnel.
I'll second.
I have a motion by Commissioner Bedstead, seconded by Commissioner Cunningham to approve OA 2020-002 with an amended policy for noticing templates. Commissioner Bedstead?
Yes.
Commissioner Cunningham?
Yes.
Commissioner Antuna?
Yes.
Commissioner Hinkle?
Yes.
Chair Hatcher?
Yes. Okay, do we have any old business?
Do not have any old business.
Any new business?
We do, as a matter of fact, have some new business this evening, and of note, we made sure to put Mr. Ramirez's retirement under the new business category instead of the old business, just so nobody got the wrong idea. After more than 30 years and change now, right, Londo?
November 16th was actually 30 years, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm a little nervous now all of a sudden.
So Londo's gonna hang up his cappuccino maker and his tracing paper, and I say cappuccino maker because he's pretty famous for being the guy in the planning division that will run his cappuccino maker in the morning, and if you're lucky, he might brew you a cup as well. But he's intermittently both envied and made fun of for his coffee predilections. From my perspective, I can say that in the 15 months that I've been with the city, I've truly valued Londo's contributions, and in a couple of different areas. One, I think that it's the lasting effect that he's going to have on the physical features of the city and its development will be here forever, and that's pretty special. And his ability to exercise creativity and to rework site plans and building layouts that are close but maybe don't quite get there is not something that every planner has, even experienced planners. And we've got some good, talented folks behind them, but we will miss that from Londo. And the second thing is Londo brings a spirit of teamwork to the office that is another thing that is truly special and is not something that we can replace with bringing in somebody new, or even bringing up folks that have been here. And his commitment to fostering a workplace that people want to come to work, again, has been maybe even as important, matches the importance of his skills in laying out site plans. You don't lose, a city like Clovis doesn't lose somebody to retirement after 30 years and not have a significant effect. And Londo, we will truly miss you. And you have promised to be accessible to us, and we, I think you can feel that, we'll take you up on that. And so I will stop talking, because all of you have known Londo longer than I have. And if you can think of something as embarrassing about him to say as I have, that would be a wonderful time. And if you don't want to say it on the record, please stick around for a few minutes after the meeting, and we'll have some goodies, and we'll stay separated as the state requires. With that, I'll stop talking and hand it back to the chair and members of the commission.
Alma, did you want to?
Sorry. I did. I unmuted myself accidentally, but yes, I will go first. Lando, what can I say? My gosh. Thank you for always being willing to share your wealth of knowledge and always being so patient, answering all my ridiculous questions with patience and accuracy, regardless of how many times I had you repeat the same thing to me at different meetings. So thank you for that, for the grace that you showed me. You freely gave of your skills and talents to ensure that our city just grew so beautifully, and we're better because of it. As you move on to your leisurely life of retirement, go knowing that your time here made a difference, and you are part of a legacy of extraordinary, gifted, visionary planners that we were so blessed to have, and you who have left their fingerprints throughout this entire city. We were very lucky to have you. Thank you for all your years of service, and I wish you nothing but the very best in the next chapter of your life.
Well, thank you, Commissioner Antuna. It's been a blessing to be here for 30 years and to have the ability to work with you on the Central Clovis specific plan and just build a solid friendship that will go into the ages. So thank you for your kind words.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Londo, I'm kind of the new kid on the block still on the planning commission, so haven't had a chance to work with you as long as the others, but in the past couple of years, it's been a real pleasure. And I've always duly been impressed with your knowledge and understanding. You've helped me learn an incredible amount to be effective in my role, and I'm thankful for that. You've always helped this collective body clarify and make sure that we're providing the best information for the public and us to make good, wise decisions. So it's been clear, just kind of as an outsider, that you're a team player, as Dave mentioned. You know, I can see that you foster that culture, that environment. You're a relationship guy, and that's to me what life's about, is relationships. And we've all been put here on this rock together for one reason or another. So it's been awesome to work with you. I'm certain Clovis will be impacted by the loss of you in this role, but I'm also certain that you've had a tremendous impact with your presence here. So I thank you for your 30 years of service. Commissioner
Bessette, thank you very much. It's funny that every interview that I've ever given for every position that I've applied for, I said it, I'm not your typical planner. I come in, even I'm at 50 years old, 55 years old, I come in with the passion of a kid straight out of college. I'm ready to go. And even to this day at age 57, I still have that same passion. My only hope is that I've imparted some of that to our planning staff so they can continue where I led off. And I just admire each and every one of these, and I think they're going to do great things.
Lando, I've known you now since I became a member of the commission in 2016. I echo the things that Commissioner Antuna and Bessette have said. I am honored to call you a friend. I think you bring enthusiasm and true joy to the job. I think that your expertise has been appreciated by all the members of your department. If I have one criticism, it's I never got a cappuccino. But that aside, I'll go ahead and forgive you this one time. So thank you. I'm proud to call you a friend.
Thank you, Commissioner Cunningham. And my door's open for the next 3.5 weeks, so you're more than welcome to come and get one of my special lattes. I treasure the time we spent in Sacramento together when we went to the Planning Commissioners Day. We really were able to share some deep insight discussions, and I will treasure that forever. And I hope that continues our friendship and that we will build from there, and we will share a coffee.
Thank you, sir.
Landro, it's been great. You've put up with me. Sometimes I can be a pain in the you-know-what. I've learned a lot from you on all of the committees I've been on, and the last one was the General Plan Committee. but, you've always been there. Excuse me, you've listened, you've, got it back to me immediately to let me know what's going on, and I really appreciate that. It's helped me to develop my knowledge of Clovis and what, the operations are of Clovis. I appreciate it. Gonna miss you not being here. You're instrumental in this whole commission and the planning department, so gonna miss you. Sorry.
Thank you, Commissioner Hinkle. I take to heart your friendship, and I thank you as well in that, out of all the planning commissioners, you and Mr. Moana too have challenged me the most during these public hearings, and I appreciate that because it's made me a better planner. So I thank you for that, and I thank you for the friendship, and I will make one of your events out in the park. My only regret is that when I walked in here, I was hoping to see your yellow car out there with a red ribbon for me, but that hot rod wasn't out there. Maybe after I get out of here, it'll be waiting for me, but thank you very much.
Well, Lando, you will be missed. You will truly be missed. You have been a really good guiding force, especially to me, as I've had to be the chair the last 18 months or so. You're always happy, you're always smiling, you're always positive. And I can tell that you've been a very good mentor to most of the young up-and-comers. I feel like I've been here a long time, but you guys have been here forever. And you will be missed, your knowledge, and hopefully we will see you around town some more. And I, too, did not get a coffee, but that's okay. I won't hold it against you.
Well, what I treasure with you is that we went through the whole COVID experience of learning how to run a planning commission through these new experiences, like going back and forth and exchanging notes and side notes and when do we speak. I almost felt like we were in a play. So I really appreciate that, and I've really enjoyed working with you over the years. So it doesn't end here. We're all friends, and I will make sure I provide my personal contact information so we can continue this friendship. Thank you. And to the planning staff, I love you all. You know, thank you for the 30 years that you've awarded me to be part of your team. Thank you for the city of Clovis in that 30 years ago, I was a graphic artist and didn't know what planning was. And here 30 years later, I was blessed with the deputy city planner position. My humble beginnings taught me a work ethic. As many of you in our planning staff already know, I come from Mendota, California, which is a very blighted community, and was raised as a migrant farm worker, traveling the valley and up to Washington, Oregon, for the first part of my life. By age 13, I was driving a farm labor van and working in the fields, and my dad said, "Is this what you want to do for the rest of your life?" I said, "Hell no." So I thank the city of Clovis for where I ended up. There's no better place to work. I'm blessed to work with everyone here, and that is my biggest regret, is that I do have to leave and it's time. But maybe you'll see me on the other side of the counter, and you'll be kind to me when I'm standing over there. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay, seeing no other business, I will adjourn this meeting.